This is how the heir to Toriyama's throne saw Dragon Ball after GT. And the reason it's taken me so long to cover this is because this is the first fan manga I ever read, and it was back in 2013, and I was so disappointed with how it ended that I kind of erased it from my mind, but then I realized this is the best interpretation of what a Dragon Ball character is. Xicor. This is where his origin started. In this story, he made his debut, and technically he was made by the guy who now makes the manga, so maybe in the future we might see an homage to this character, but this is the story of Xicor, the third son of Goku. Now this takes place in a time before Dragon Ball Super, so no gods, no Beerus. At the time, they weren't even invented, so the highest form of power that we know is Super Saiyan 4, and that's what we're going to be working with. This story starts with the Western Supreme Kai, who, having just been utterly killed by Kid Buu, she starts reevaluating her life, and turns out she's actually not a good Kai. She was the one who gave King Cold DNA to make Frieza, and when she sees that Frieza has been killed by Goku, she wants to get the DNA of Son Goku, and while he spends his time on Yardrat, that's what she does. She spends time seducing Goku, and one day when Goku decides to take a nap after a feast, she comes in, slices his neck, and takes a sample of his blood. After she took that sample of blood, she mixed it with their own, creating a half Kai, half Saiyan hybrid, and that is the origin of Xicor. Goku never consented to his existence, but the Western Supreme Kai, after being killed by Kid Buu, that's when she started getting the idea of maybe a bodyguard would be a good idea. So at first she took a sample of King Cold's blood and mixed it with her own and made Frieza. But then Frieza was killed by Goku, so the only logical thing to do would be to take Goku's blood, and that's what she did, creating what is now the most powerful being we have ever seen. Enter Xicor. Now with Xicor, he is always in a state of what is known as Super Saiyan 5. Super Saiyan 5 basically is Zycor's base form, so he arrives on Earth and no one can touch him. Goku's not there, but even if he was, I don't even think he would stand a chance. The first thing Xicor does when he gets to Earth is he shows up and he immediately confronts Goten, his older brother, and without saying anything to him, he gets in his face and takes him out like that, not even giving him a chance to defend himself. That is how serious Xicor is. I know that isn't that much of a feat, taking out Goten, but when you have someone who is finally willing to take out main characters, it shows that there is a serious threat. So as leaving Goten in that condition is the first thing Xicor does when he gets to the planet, Vegeta, Gohan, everyone shows up and they're asking about who he is and why is he doing what he's doing? Why did he come to Earth? And Xicor gives a response that pretty much proves that he is not thinking right. He's brainwashed. The Western Supreme Kai is definitely the brains, and Xicor is 1000% the muscle. His mindset is that I have to kill all my brothers, everybody, to be the ruler of the universe. And as much as Vegeta is there and is thinking, no, Goku is not the strongest, I am the strongest, and goes Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 isn't quite Super Saiyan 5, so everybody fights Xicor. This battle goes on for a very long time, with Xicor not taking much damage and everyone else just getting bashed around. Again, this is a Super Saiyan 5. We have guys like Trunks who is still at Super Saiyan 2. Eventually though, it does cut to the world where Goku's in, and surprisingly, of all people, he is with Pikkon. He chose to take Pikkon with him to the world where Shenron brought him, and he is just constantly in battle. Now, for Goku to be able to feel what's going on Earth, it would have to be such a high power level. It would be almost impossible for him to feel what's going on. It would literally have to be the recreation of the universe. He is so far away from Earth that it is almost impossible. Almost. But he does. Goku feels something, but he doesn't know what it is. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Gohan has reached Super Saiyan 4, but this guy was made to kill, and they pretty much give up on killing him. There's no way that's gonna happen. Xicor is way too powerful. So instead, a very interesting plan gets developed. They are going to try and trap him within the Z-Sword. It was a long shot and it almost didn't work, but eventually they did. It caught Xicor off guard because the last thing he was expecting was to be concealed. He was expecting them to kill him just like he was trying to kill them. It then cuts over to Goku again, and the power that he was feeling has completely disappeared. This whole story is based around Goku and Xicor, and they haven't even met yet. Goku is in this heavenly realm and Xicor is trapped in the Z-Sword. At this rate, they're never gonna see face to face. Goku is in a completely different world. He is in Shenron's home. This is where Shenron goes when all 7 Dragon Balls aren't brought together. This is his resting place. It's where you can find the Shadow Dragons, everything that has to do with the Dragon Balls. It's a completely different dimension, and the only way you can get out of it is if all 7 Dragon Balls get brought together. But this is where Goku has been, and not even he was really sure about it until, funny enough, Omega Shenron comes in and tells him about what happened and where he is. Back down on Earth, the battle seems to be over. Xicor isn't dead, but he's been sealed away. Everybody is on the brink of death. Gohan can barely stand, Vegeta's arm isn't working, when all of a sudden, we get this shot of the sword that Xicor is trapped in. A piece of the Z-Sword chips off. Xicor is still in there, manipulating the Z-Sword, trying to get out. This is a constant reminder that he is not dead. This situation is not over. If he was just trapped and is already making that much damage in the sword, they don't have much time. He is going to escape soon. So 1 month passes and they haven't been able to revive Goku. He's stuck training in the Dragon Realm, this time in his base form against Omega Shenron. That just shows you how powerful he is now, but he can't get to Earth and 1 month has passed. The sword is almost snapped. Vegeta, Trunks, and everyone, they're surrounding it, they're waiting. And eventually when it does break, that is it. Out comes Xicor, round 2. And this time, he is livid. He's got a legitimate reason to kill these guys now. They had him trapped up for a month. And that is where chapter 4 of Toy Ball's Dragon Ball AF comes to an end. And that's it. He never released the full fight. We never knew if Goku got back, the confrontation between him and his third son. This was the final chapter, and reading this for the first time, I was convinced there was more, and that's probably why I haven't covered it. It is so much great build-up. Xicor fits right into the world, and his fight with Goku never got to happen, because Toy Ball, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but he didn't make more chapters, and that was the end of his Dragon Ball After the Future. He did release a bonus chapter though, where it was Master Roshi telling this story to Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr., and maybe that's what this is. Either way, it's an interesting story, and we do have this guy working on the Dragon Ball Super manga, so maybe he will homage this story one day.